we're getting some decent light in here. We're gonna get some decent light. This wall still needs, welcome by the way. The Rambling Residency, number 4 or 5. Today, I'm just gonna ramble some more. This wall, I still need to do, I think I set the camera up in a way where you can see it. I need to take this light. I need to get another one of these lights. So again, take my daughter to her favorite place on earth, the Home Depot. I need to get one of these, do the same thing. Boom, put one up here, shine it down on this wall, light it up just like this one. And yeah, we're gonna do that. Today, it is Friday, May 15th. It is my daughter's 11th birthday, so I'm very excited about that. They're out doing girl things today, so I've got an opportunity to get in a little bit of work. Just painted that sucker over there. There's actually another painting just outside of the camera that you can't see. So that's cool. That's the next 2 of the previous 2 that I had up there. And then I had number 5 over there, my first one that I finished. And then this guy is gonna be number 6. Now, I've painted this background. I was like, okay, cool, whatever, da-da. Not sure I really like it. I think I need to go back more minimal. I think this style I'm doing is very minimal in nature. And so I'm gonna paint back over this guy. I'm gonna paint back over it with a color I picked up that I'm very excited about. So we're gonna do that. But I do think it needs to be a little bougie. Bougie works, though I like the panel style, or the landscape as you call it. We call it panels in graffiti world. The panel style is cool. This style I'm doing, I haven't done a lot of panel ones. All the drawings are very portrait style. So I think I might actually flip this guy and do a portrait style. So let's see what this looks like. Gosh, I think I might actually need to take that out the way before I go ahead and do that. Hopefully this isn't too tall, or even, oh, I don't think that's gonna work. I might need to move them screws a little bit. I think I gotta move that screw. So I gotta go run inside and grab my drill, I think. Let's see if this works. All right, so Rambling Residency, episode numero 4 or 5. I can't remember. I'm gonna start losing track very quickly. But today we are catching up on some studio work. I'm still trying to figure out my rhythm in this new season of life. Again, my story is I'm on that stay-at-home dad life program, and I'm transitioning into a new season of my life as far as being able to have the freedom to be at home to help my daughter with her homeschooling stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Being able to stay at home with my daughter, help her with the homeschooling stuff, give my wife a break, let her go back to work for the first time in my daughter's whole life. So that would be 11 years as of today. And have me stay at home, and I think it's a blessing. I think God's really blessed our family in that, because I think I'm the right guy for the right time in my daughter's life. She needs her dad present because we are a lot alike, and I think there's things she can learn from me that she wasn't going to learn from her mother, and her mother needs to go into a new season as well, and so it's all working. But yeah, I'm much more available at my studio here at the house. So for those who don't know, my house is about 10 feet from the wall behind you. And so I don't have a long commute to the studio, and that's intentional. I love building things around me, bringing life around me, and being in a place that feels safe. And yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Being able to have a studio at my home. It's been a great thing, and the kid can rip around on the bike in the driveway over here, or I could see her out in that other back driveway over here playing in the street or whatever, and it's just really, really good. Or if I'm in the middle of like doing something, I can ask my wife, hey, can you come out and capture this? Which, by the way, big kudos, thank you to my wife for doing a lot of the capturing of the reels. If you see a reel of me painting, actually painting, somebody else is filming it, that's my wife. My wife has a phenomenal eye and vision for capturing people. So I'm really blessed to have her come into the fold a little bit over the last several years. She's really opened up to an avenue of photography in her life that she didn't have before, or she wasn't doing before. And I'm super excited that she's just open to helping me. So that's been a blessing over the last several years, and we're only building this thing and getting it more dialed in as we move along. So I'm stoked about that. There's a lot of changes that are taking place in both of our experiences, and this art thing is definitely accelerating at a rapid pace, to which, like I said, I'm very grateful for, but also very present to. Very present to just being in the flow of opportunity and seeing where it goes. I'm getting some really good feedback from some of these videos, some of the content I've been posting, just sharing my journey with people. That's been so encouraging. Let me unplug this real quick. It's probably throwing back some nasty static. But yeah, no, it's just been super good to detach from the thing that I was doing before, which was my day work, which served a purpose and was a great thing, and I was mentored, and I had some really great experiences around that. And yeah, but it's become very clear that God was ready to move me out of that season into something new. Oh, this is so tight. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be sick. But yeah, he was ready to move me out of that season into something new. That new thing is continuing to press forward in this art thing, which I've been faithfully doing for many, many, many years. I could see why they didn't want this green. It wasn't dark and bougie enough. But for me, this is perfect. I'm stoked about this. This is that golf course bougie green right here. Yeah, I know why they turned that. It's not dark green enough, but it looks super cool. It'd be great for this painting. This is a great reverse to that bougie green. So a lot of you can't see it, and I'll finish my first thought here in a moment, but this bougie green, golf course green, traditional country club green. Very excited. But no, I'm glad that I moved out of that season and moving into a new season of life. I feel like in a way, the good Lord has promoted me. I don't know if that's the right way to think about it, but it feels that way, kind of. It feels like I've just been faithful at producing art and working at this thing forever. And I've never given up. I've never lost hope. I've always believed in the dream. Yada, yada. I'm just continuing to keep going. And for whatever reason, God moved me out of that day job and into a new job that's like every day closer to the studio, which is my stay-at-home dad life. And yeah, we're just in it, and I'm very excited that this new style has really revealed itself in a way that I hadn't like I knew it was the hit. I knew the style was a hit when I started doing it about 2 years ago. I loved the style, and I just kept drawing it because I knew something was there with it. I really liked it. I didn't know what to do with it. I just really liked doing it. And that was just sketching the shapes. I've shared this story about discovering this style a little bit. I've always been extremely into mid-century modern, almost everything, like design, architecture. I grew up in the 80s and 90s watching all the old mid-century animated cartoons, the old Hanna-Barbera era, you know, Flintstones, you know, stuff like that. But I've just always been into that aesthetic, that vibe, and it carried over into all things that I do graffiti-wise throughout the years and blah, blah, blah. But I don't remember what point, but I started doing, for my day work, my day job, I started working with a program called Autodesk Fusion, or it was called Autodesk Inventor. 2015, I started using it 2015. I started learning it for my day work, which was in building, manufacturing, fabrication. And I started using it there. And in a couple years, I was like, man, I gotta try some graffiti in here. And like, I was still learning. I taught myself the program. So all through YouTube videos, I taught myself how to use this program. And through the years, whenever I had a little free time during the day, take a break, chill on lunch, whatever, I would just kind of fiddle with the program and start seeing how I could bring graffiti into the mix in this digital 3D modeling stuff. And then eventually it turned into Autodesk Fusion 360. I started using 360, which is what the company transitioned to. And I started really building models on there, and I was able to integrate like graffiti. I started building lettering inside the program, but I started like playing with shapes too. And the more I started playing with shapes, the more I was like just enjoying the patterns of the shapes, and then also like looking at graffiti letters as I would develop them in the model, and I would start extracting like the different parts of a graffiti letter. So like, you know, again, I'd have like you know, like a B has like a main bar, and then you have the secondary bar, which is the swoops of the B. Or you have like an E, which has 4 bars. You have one large backbone bar, and then you have the 3 extensions off the front. A T has a main bar, which is like a spine again, and then you have a top. So, you know, all these letters have different anatomy, and I would just pull out these different parts of each letter body, and I would kind of like do the same thing I did with graffiti, and I would manipulate these shapes, but I would do it inside of this CAD modeling program, and I just had a lot of fun with it because I could manipulate it, I could turn around, I could like take something that used to be like I used to do graffiti, it would just be 2-dimensional, but now I could like in the modeling program I could turn it, I could bend it like this, I could flex it, I could take this and I could like move this over, like I could distort this in a way. I mean, it was so cool what I was learning how to do with these design programs, and I was like, man, this is dope. There's something here. But as a warm-up to my kind of, you know, I'd sit down to do work for the day, drafting and, you know, my CAD work, I would kind of just get in, you know, I'd get in my office, I'd warm up, whatever, and then like I had a whiteboard in there, and I would just take an expo marker, and I would start like just doing, you know, these different shape compositions on the whiteboard, kind of like warming up for graffiti. Like you just, you know, I wouldn't always sit down and just draw a piece. Like I would sit there and I would do like a page of tags just to get my hand flowing and just get my brain flowing. And then eventually it would roll into like doing some throw ups or doing a straight letter. And then eventually through the drawing session or the sketching session, eventually I would probably do a piece or whatever. It would evolve. So I started to do that practice in the CAD, my daily work in CAD or design, as I would sit and I would just punch out some like shape compositions on the whiteboard with an expo marker, because I'm a fan of the chisel tips, and I just really got into like those compositions I was doing, and I started taking photos of them because I was like, man, I want to keep these are sick. I want to keep a record of them, and I would just wipe it, and I'd do a new one, I'd take a photo, and I'd wipe it, and I'd start saving them in my phone, and I was like, man, there's something to this. This is so sick. And so I started drawing them just, again, just a Sharpie or a Expo marker, like a chisel Sharpie, and I would just start doing those. And I've been doing those the last couple of years. And it evolved. I think the first time it evolved out of that was last year in 2025. I've had sculpture in the back of my mind for many years because of my day work in fabrication and welding, right? I've been working in metal fabrication, steel fabrication. I've been a welder for the last 20 plus years, right? So like, I've had it in the back of my mind that I know I'm going to do sculpture work. You know, I've fiddled around with resources. I have a small shop welder and some tools here, but the stuff I want to do is more grand and monumental, big composition welding, composed sculptures, and I'm gonna get there. I'm going to not transition, but like that's going to be the secondary to the artwork as well. And so anyway, I've been trying to extract sculpture or just explore that avenue for the last several years. I did my first sculpture in 2023, which is a large lettering sculpture that I displayed at a group show in Seattle. And that was super cool. I was able to distort these letters, and it was kind of like a small hand style. And that was fun. but I really wanted to like do this style, this new style that I've been developing. I was like, I think this is perfect for these sculptures. And so I have it hanging up here, but I'll put it here. It's called Oasis Reverie. And I punched that out last year. All of that was 2-inch by 1/8 inch A36 mild steel flat bar, right? So like that stuff is really pliable. I didn't use any torches, heat to manipulate these pieces at all. I formed it all by hand, by, setting something up and just forming it, pressing it around it until I got these shapes that I wanted. And then I just sheared them off and then kind of like, put them together, fit them together, tacked, and then I would like leave an open end so that they could flow between each other. And that was my first sculpture of this style, Oasis Reverie. That's why I cold formed it. I wanted to do it all by hand, so I felt every part of the process by hand. And I wanted to buff it. I cleaned it all to the bare steel, so there's no coating on it. It's just bare ground off. I just ground off all the mill scale so that it's just bare steel. So it has this really organic, rigid, imperfect look to it, which is what graffiti has. And so I was really proud of that sculpture. It's not a very large sculpture. It's probably about yay wide by like yay tall. I think it was like just under 2 feet by 1 foot high. And I have it hanging right up here above my washout sink. Because yeah, it's meant to be a floating sculpture. And so I'm very, very blessed to have, just cracked that out as a vision and a model of what I want to do in the future. And I'm going to explore grants and things like that as time develops. But anyway, that actually came before these paintings. Just within the last month since I left that day job of mine, I sat there one day and I was just drawing, and I busted out that composition again, and I thought, man, I should try to color one of these. I've never colored one. It's been 2 years. I've never colored one. I have a couple models that I made in Fusion. I'm showing you right here. But I made the models. I've made a sculpture. I have all these expo files, expo drawing whiteboard files. I've never colored one. And so I was like, I knew in the back of my head it would probably look cool, and I just knew it would get there someday, but I hadn't done it. So literally a month ago, I'm out of work now. I'm at home. I'm with my kid. We're drawing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try coloring one. Bust out the pack of markers. I whip one out. I color it, and I'm like, oh man. I was like, all right, this is sick. I was like, this, and it just felt like you feel something as an artist. You have the intuition. Everybody has intuition, but artists are really attuned to intuition. We know when something's right, bam, and we know when something's wrong. And so it just was one of those things where like I did it, it came out, I'm looking at it, and my gut, my intuition, my gut is like, this is it. This is it. This is it. It's like I could see the future. I could see like years to come unraveling, and it was just such a blessing to have that moment and to feel like, I was really just there, present. God's with me in that moment. We're like there co-creating, it's unraveling, and I'm like, man, thank you. Just feeling a lot of praise and gratitude to God for like being with me and helping flush that out. Just kind of emotional now that I think about it, because it's been such a long process of development. I'm just super grateful. So yeah, since these rambling residencies are kind of just long format, I know some people don't want to hang out with the rambling residencies for too long, but since some of you do, if you've made it this far, you're going to get a preview of the first one I've ever done. Now, this guy right here that you can actually see in the camera, let me make sure you can see it. Yo, yeah, so I just painted out the background in the last hour, but I cut out 4 of these sizes right here. They're 64 by 64 or 60 by 60, but they're roughly 5 feet by 5 feet. And I wanted to do a 4 series. I want to do a series of 4. I love batching because I'm a production guy. I love to batch pieces together. I'm a big pattern-oriented guy, so I can pattern things together. So I wanted to do 4 of these sizes. I did the first 2 that were over here on some of the last videos you watched. I put up these 2. You can't see the one on the left, but you can see this one. And these are the next 2. I'm going to drop the outline on the other 2. So that's 4. But I had a one-off canvas that's probably the same size. It's somewhere around 65 by 65 or 62, 64, 60. It's roughly the same size. So it's going to be 5 pieces in total. 4 that are all the exact same size, and then 1 that's like in the middle. And so I've had this one hanging off to the side as my experiment piece. And it's actually the first completed piece of this style that I'm sharing right now, talking to you about. And so I'm super excited about it. After this guy is done drying, I'm going to pull it back down. I'm going to put this guy up because I think I want to add a little bit of dust, a couple very small details. But for the most part, this sucker is done. And I am so stoked on how it came out. If you've been watching the videos, getting around to figuring out how to do these outlines to make them feel like a marker, make them sort of look like a marker, to have the same feel and energy of my sketches and drawings. God's been so good to just condense this timeline to come around and work and flush out this process for me. I'm very excited. So, bam. You see these suckers are pretty big. So I've got, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, dude. Boom, check it out. Check it out. All right, hopefully there's no glare from any lighting, because this sucker is high gloss, dude. So I developed, let me see if I can get something to hold it up here. Yeah, let's do this. See if I can talk about it. Keep it held up. Oh yeah, look at that. Easy money. Yeah, dude. It's a little low. Anyway, for those of you who can see the top half, I'm not going to. Anyway, you got the preview. The point is that this stuff right here, the black, I've discovered the right mixture for what I want to do to make that outline, to make it look like a marker, kind of. Again, I am a fan of chisel tip markers, Expos, Sharpies, big markers, and I'm like, how do I don't like how brushes look. For some reason, it doesn't create that same chisel, rectangular chisel look. It doesn't do that as a brush, and it fans when you put pressure. It fans out, gets whiter, thinner. I'm just not a fan of it. And again, that's my inexperience with brush. I'm a graffiti guy. I've always used spray paint, but I wanted to recreate in large scale kind of the look and the feel of a marker. Like a brush, you got to go pretty darn slow. I'm not into that. I want to just blast like literally a graffiti writer just doing a tag on something, because I am a graffiti writer and I do tags, right? So I want that marker feel. I want that just like authentic, like fast dance feel. And so I was able to discover the right mixture. Finally, we did the right mixture. One-shot sign paint plus turpentine. Now, I'm really aggressive with it. This was a super aggressive mixture. We're talking 1-to-1. So 50-50 turpentine to one-shot. Super, super juicy, but it maintained its bold thickness. And then, yeah, I just got these sponges from Home Depot, 2-pack, $6, big old thing. Just get a razor blade and just cut them down to the exact size I want, and bam, dude, do. Super quick, super juicy. And yeah, I was just so pumped to discover that, and I ended up knocking out this guy first. So I got a little bit of detail work. I don't know if it's in the visual of the camera, but I'm gonna do a little bit of slight dusting like over here. It kind of brings out that light from behind. I want to bring that down here, but overall this sucker is done, and I'm just super excited to share that. And so for those of you that made it this far in the residency video, here we go. First one. I don't even have a name yet. I had to come up with a name for it, but yeah, dude, she's looking good. The other paint is more of like a satin eggshell house paint, so I'm definitely gonna put some type of clear coat lacquer finish over it or something, just to make sure that there's a equal gloss sheen over the top of it. Also bring out all the colors in their full glory, shining full glory. And yeah, first piece of the new collection. So I'm very, very, very excited about that. And yeah, more than anything, I'm just excited that I've got all this creative energy and momentum that's really coming to the forefront. It's being birthed. It's ready to come out of me, and I'm just like, let's get it out. It's been a work, you know. I got my newsletter sent out the other day, giving an update on the breakthrough video, which is just a vlog video that I've been making. It's just in process, which is essentially just a blog or vlog on the YouTubes here. So if you haven't had a chance, go check that out. It's one of the last videos. It's a breakthrough. I finally figured out how to do those outlines, and I'm so overjoyed. I'm so thrilled because now I'm ready to just pump this out, and I'm gonna. So these paintings are coming in fast and furious, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the other ones. I already have a friend, a friend of my wife and I, another couple. She's an art collector, friends first, but she also actually collects art, and she's super stoked on it. She's like, this is dope. Oh my God, she's geeking. Some of my graffiti friends are like, yeah, this is sick, bro. And I just feel like this was the right move at the right time, just ready to come out. And it's different than my last style, typographic abstraction. And typographic abstraction is always going to be typographic abstraction. I can easily whip out another one of those right now. But I think that might have been just a stepping stone. I can't say I won't ever produce another typographic abstraction painting, but I feel like those were leading up to this. It was some type of foundation that was building me towards this style that I'm doing right here. And I don't have a name for the style yet. I was doing the dishes the other day, and the word extraction came to me because it sounds very similar to abstraction. So maybe we're just going from typographic abstraction to graphic, like graffiti, like GRFFIC, graphic extraction, because that's what it is. It's extracting these geometric shapes out of graffiti letters. and manipulating them and composing them into these larger compositions that are youthful and fun and joyful, and vibrant and childlike. Just a joy to paint so far. So I just feel extraordinarily blessed, and I think that might actually be the name I stick with, graphic extraction. Don't know, but I'm just really riding high right now, and that's a really good thing. And I'm going to keep this energy going with this bougie country club green here. And yeah, I'm going to put the fan on this sucker and go inside and watch the PGA Championship for a little bit while this dries. Maybe put another, actually might do the background on this guy a little bit. I don't know. I've got a lot of work to do, and I'm just ready to get to it. So thank you all for joining in the Rambling Residency, episode 4 or 5. Got some more cool things in the works, so stay tuned, y'all.